thing that concerns me most right now is that unless we improve our rate of innovation dramatically, then there is no chance of a base on the moon or a city on Mars. Not, yeah, this is my biggest concern. I mean, Crew Dragon was, we've already taken it to the space station and back. You know, so a lot of people aren't aware of that. We just had like basically a dummy, you know. So just a truly ridiculous amount of testing. It's like definitely hat us off to the Dragon engineers and supporting team at NASA for going through a truly staggering number of tests. Dragon really is just a low Earth orbit transport vehicle. It's really just, it's capable of taking a few people at what is still a very high cost to Earth orbit. I mean, technically we could send people around the moon on Dragon, but I'm not sure we'd want to. It's good to get this done, but I think we need to be very careful of getting stuck in a local maximum. And you know, the space shuttle was something that was really stuck in a local maximum for a long time. Frankly, why does Soyuz still fly? I mean, Korolev is probably turning in his grave right now. If you told Korolev and the other guys that we'd still be flying Soyuz in 2020, they'd be like, that's crazy. Yet we are. So we don't want to be in that situation, you know. It's a solid vehicle, it's just like it's time to move on.
Right.
There's really just one thing that matters, that is a fully and rapidly reusable rocket. That's the one thing that matters. And it needs to be reasonably big, or your payload to non-payload ratio will be kind of whacked. You know, won't be good. So, just like you wouldn't want a super tanker growing, like when you know, container ships, you have a container ship with thousands of containers. You don't, you know, have like a bunch of tiny ships with little outboards on them cruising across the Pacific. That would be silly. I think Falcon 9 and Dragon have, they're asymptoting, their technology architecture is asymptoting, meaning like it really would not make sense to have a Block 6 Falcon 9, you know, from where we are right now. It just doesn't make sense. That's why we have a big focus in terms of new technology development on Starship. We need a whole new architecture, and that's what Starship is about. And Starship needs to be fully and completely reusable, and rapidly so. I mean, it's being designed for about you know, to be relaunched an hour after landing, with zero nominal work. Like, you could have scheduled maintenance, or you could have like something like a spark issue, just like commercial aircraft. But you're expected, the only thing you expect to change on a regular basis is propellant. But I think we want to aim for a capability of 3 flights a day for the ship. Wow. Most of which is taken up with getting the orbital, you know, ground track to come over the launch site. Orbital refilling, I think that's very important. So you've got to, so there's one besides a fully and rapidly reusable rocket, you need to also have orbital refilling or retanking. That's got to be, that's fundamental. Because then you can essentially recoup all of your mass fraction delta V in Earth orbit. You can leave with full tanks. And it could be from low Earth orbit, or you know, something that's maybe elliptical or something like that if you want to go higher energy. But that's crucial for getting to Mars. The moon is neither here nor there. I'm referring to is technology does not automatically improve. Right. People are used to the phone being better every year. Well, software is an increasing part of any piece of technology. I mean, Tesla, the car is extremely configurable. It's basically like a laptop on wheels. So software matters enormously there. And really, for example, for full autonomy, the only gating factor is software. The hardware is all there that's required. It has been for the last couple of years. Well, the final piece of hardware was upgrading the computer to have more compute power. Although, and I'm an iPhone user, but I think like some of the recent software updates have been like not great. Certainly feeding it to that point. It like broke my email system. Like what the? This is like quite fundamental. There sure is a lot of software out there, and some of it's like the people that wrote it are retired or maybe dead. You know, so like now how do you fix it? It's going to be an issue. I think we definitely need a lot more smart people working software. I mean, the whole purpose of SpaceX is really to help make life multiplanetary. But the revenue potential of launching satellites, servicing the space station and whatnot, that's, you know, taps out around $3 billion a year. But I think providing broadband is more like an order of magnitude more than that, probably 30 billion a year, as a rough approximation. 5G is great for high density situations like being here in DC or, you know, New York, San Francisco, that kind of thing. 5G is great for high density situations, but it's actually not great for the countryside. You know, for rural areas, it's not great. You need range. The bandwidth is a very complex question, but let's just say somebody will be able to watch high-def movies, play video games, and do all the things they want to do without noticing speed. Right. Just in general, production and manufacturing is underappreciated, I think, especially in the US, frankly. So we should really pay a lot more attention and care a lot more about manufacturing. We're going to start switching to a different alloy pretty soon, and then just tweak the alloy constituents, because we should be able to do better in 2020 than they did in like the 50s, you know. Sort of taking to management by rhyming. If the schedule is long, your design is wrong. There is a value that colleges have, which is like, you know, seeing whether can somebody work hard at something, including a bunch of sort of annoying homework assignments, and still do their homework assignments, and kind of soldier through and get it done. You know, that's like the main value of college. And then also, you know, if you probably want to hang around with a bunch of people your own age for a while instead of going right into the workforce. So I think colleges are basically for fun and to prove you can do your chores, but they're not for learning. No, I mean, I hope I'm not dead by the time people go to Mars. That would be a great outcome, I think. I might be, you know, if we don't improve our pace of progress, I'm definitely, you know, going to be dead before we go to Mars. So I'm just like, would like to not be dead by the time we go to Mars. That's my aspiration here.